The carbophobia in the fitness world is really kind of a fascinating phenomenon to behold. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about this. And I have a friend who's fairly well known in the fitness industry named Alan Aragon. He and I have been friends for over 15 years. And I used to see him joke about this a lot. He's like the carbophobia among fitness people and bodybuilders. He goes, it's really, it's interesting. And he says that as someone who runs a research review. He has an advanced degree in nutrition. He even has coached and prepped natural bodybuilders for bodybuilding shows. And he's always taken a very pro-carbohydrate stance, as someone who, again, has a master's in nutritional science, is involved with some research, and who, again, gets drug-free bodybuilders down to 5% body fat and absolutely shredded for photo shoots and contests, while consuming very, very high carbohydrate diets. And, he had an interesting take on that, that he's always found that fascinating. And the longer I do this, the more I realize he really is right. And it really and truly only is niches in the fitness world that have this. And then marketing of certain diets. Because when you look in the rest of the world, you look in the scientific community, the research community, they by and large agree that higher carbs, lower fat tend to generally be better for health, body composition, and they do study these things. Like low carb diets have been studied extensively because there's a massive interest in it. There's funding for it. Keep in mind, certain food industries are interested in this. Obviously, meat and dairy industries are interested in this. People who make products geared towards this are interested in this. Okay, supplement companies are interested in this. So there's absolutely been funding for it. And keep that in mind. That used to be Dr. Adkins' response years ago, and I saw a thing with him, 20 years ago. Some other medical doctors were talking with him up on a panel, and he had said, well, they're like, well, you don't even have research to back what you're promoting. And he's like, well, if I could get the money for the research, and a bunch of them one of them chimed in, another medical doctor, and said, yeah, well, why don't you take some of the money, the millions of dollars you made from your book sales, and fund your own research? Like you're just doing this for the money. It's not healthy, and it's not medically accurate. You're making millions of dollars on your book sales. Take some of your money and fund the research. Then if you say you can't get funding, he goes, you're a multimillionaire from your books. And he was right. And I thought it was fascinating as I looked at the guy, because, the guy's a cardiologist and promoted the whole Atkins, pretty much zero carb diet. And he was, how do I put it, even at the time of this, very portly, to put it mildly. And, he was clinically morbidly obese still, very clearly. So I thought that was fascinating. But, the thing is, when you look at this, the athletic community is the same way. Almost every elite athlete on the face of the earth eats a predominantly carbohydrate diet, right? Longest lived populations, ultra high carbs. Leanest, most athletic, fit people on the face of the earth, high carbohydrates. Okay? It's ubiquitous. And when you look at the data on it, we know that it's great for weight loss. We know that carbohydrates aren't stored for fat in humans. We know that carbohydrate intake itself isn't even linked to things like diabetes, and a lot of people are unaware of that. Eating a very high carbohydrate diet isn't even correlated with type 2 diabetes. Most of the body fat I've gained was while on higher fat diets. Okay, even though I'm not ultra lean now, I've been cutting down on much, much lower fat diets. Even when I was at higher body fats, it was not from high carbs. It was oftentimes higher fat diets. Red meat, natural peanut butter, even times when I did the lower carb diets, I tended to gain body fat and gain weight pretty easily on them because they were so calorie dense with all the fat. Right? When I was at my heaviest as a strength athlete, my diet was very, very heavy in whole fat dairy, in eggs, and in red meat. Okay? When I was up over 240 as a power lifter. since I've gone over to lower fat, I'm lighter and leaner, and I'm definitely not ripped yet. But, I'm just saying, I managed to make all lean gains last year doing very low fat, ultra high carb. I gained all pure muscle for like 9 months. I got leaner, actually. So to me, it's fascinating, that people have this idea. And I do think that's interesting when the people will chime in at me like, well, you're not shredded and you're promoting really high carbs. I'm like, but my body fat went up when I did the opposite. I'm leaner now. So it's like, and I tell people, if you want to use me as an example, I have 15, 20 pounds less body fat since switching to this. When I ate the way you people promoted oftentimes, I tended to be fluffier. So I really don't think that I'm the best example to use if you want to promote the other. I am probably the worst example. I'm the guy who on ketogenic diets can gain weight just fine. I can get up to 250, no problem, while training, while working out every day. So again, get your context. So again, but it's interesting because you see this everywhere. And even I had to come to terms with this. This is what the research showed. And when I went fully that route and committed, I got leaner. My strength was solid. Improved my body composition. Just like the research and science says you will. Lo and behold, the research is actually pretty accurate. Again, why do people have this carbophobia? And I think it comes down to marketing. It really is. It is about marketing because these diets have marketing. They have influencers who market them, supplement companies who market them, food companies realize it's marketable. Okay? It is marketable. That's why you had Mark Bell pushing and then pushing whole lines of supplements and diet stuff, his war on carbohydrates. Right? It's a business. The low carb thing is a business, and therefore people market fear of carbohydrates. Okay? And the reality is, it doesn't even produce the leanest, fittest athletes ever. Those people are all on high carbohydrates. The research supports it on athletes. It's overwhelming. So again, why, other than marketing? It needs to go away. It needs to go away. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.